So if it's not evident by now, I think that the way that I think, in particular, the way that I carry thoughts is very either atypical, asymmetrical, or possibly even neurodivergent thinking, right? But I do understand that I have a very different mindset and mentality and way of moving through information. And then instead of allowing that to be my downfall, I'll let that be my superpower, right? I believe that a lot of the what would we call it? A lot of the circumstances that we would pass off as ADHD or ADD or some type of hyper this or hyper that, aren't necessarily bad at all. I think that the way that we are framing them are unhealthy. But just because a person's mind works a certain kind of way, it doesn't work the way that your mind works, doesn't mean that it's bad. It means that the system and the environments that that person is in should be either changed or should be altered to help that person along and help that person with the type of thinking that they naturally produce, right? So for myself, and being that I have a very scatterbrained type of, well, I won't even say scatterbrain anymore because I've devised it into a system. But since I have a very nonlinear way of thinking, I need to submerge myself in situations that has a lot of layers in them. Something that looks chaotic to the regular person is going to feel very at home for me. It's going to because I am going to have enough information points and data points around to put the entirety of my thinking mechanism into. And the problem with classrooms and environments that don't offer the same type of stimulus, I'm going to have leftover computing power to process things that I should not be processing. That's just how my brain works. So by me choosing a job field like EOD and having to be able to balance so many stresses, thought processes, situations all at the same time, that's perfect for a person like me because I'm naturally set up to be able to achieve these types of things. And for people who thinks in different capacities or think from different perspectives or ways, that's equally okay for you to think from that way, but you need to find the environments and the jobs and the communities that suit you and help you produce the types of outcomes that you're looking for the types of thinking that you produce, right? There isn't a right way or a wrong way. There isn't a good or a bad, and there isn't an up or a down. There is only making sure that we find the circumstances or the correct set of circumstances that's going to appease and that's going to accommodate us. And that's why knowing and being with yourself and loving yourself and having a full knowledge of yourself, that's why it's so important.